Hey folks, Poverty Point Customs here. What we're going to do today is unbox our new Vevor 6.5 horsepower plate compactor. Alright, so here's your compactor. Here's your manual with any of the nuts and bolts you need and your handles. So what we're going to do first is install the handle. So we're going to take out both of these bolts with the rubber spacers here off. It's an 18 millimeter, so here and here. So this is the bottom part of the handle. So what you're going to do is take these and push them through, just like that. Next, you're going to take your handle, feed it through the right side first, and what you're going to do is screw these bolts in, again 18 millimeter. So what we're going to do is install the top part of the handle. It's going to go on like that, using the supplied bolts that it came with. And that's how it looks when it's installed. You can see how this is kind of rounded for the shape of the tube here, as well as the washer on the outside. So next you're going to install your throttle, which is this right here. And this is going to get mounted right on the handle here, just like that. So you'll have to remove these nuts and bolts, and we're going to mount it right there. And these are 10 millimeter. So it's all mounted. So the way I like to mount this is when I push this forward, this is increasing the throttle. When I bring it back, that's less throttle. So you can actually feel the clicks for the different throttle settings. So it includes a couple of cable ties to mount your throttle. So I'm going to probably put one right here and maybe one right here. I want to keep the throttle cable away from the heat shield on the exhaust and from rattling on the motor. And there we go. I got one right here and one right there. Make sure there's not too sharp of a bend on your throttle cable or it will bind up. So just trying it and everything's moving nice and smooth. So the next step is to add engine oil. I'm going to put in a 10W30. You have a fill location either here on the front or as well on the back. And the reason it has this is these motors are designed for several different applications. So if you can't access the fill location on one side of the motor, depending on how it's installed, you can get it on the other side. So whatever way is easier for you, put the oil in there, and I believe it's just under 400 milliliters of oil. All right, let's get some oil in it. So remove the dipstick, and I'm going to be using Mobil 1 10W30 oil. So put in your fill funnel like that, and we're going to put the oil in there. And again, the biggest thing is don't overfill it. Just a tip to allow the oil to get through the funnel a lot quicker is just unscrew the other fill location. That way that will actually fill much quicker. All right, once we've got some oil in there, take out the funnel, clean your dipstick. So what you're going to do is insert it without screwing it in. And what we want is the oil to the upper part of the little hash marks here. So we can't see it on there yet, so we're going to add some more. And you can see it's at the upper part of the marks. That is perfect. So we'll reinstall this, and don't forget to install the other one if you unscrewed that one. All right, next we're going to put in the fuel. So you can unscrew your fuel cap. So looking inside the fuel tank, it actually has a fuel strainer that can actually be taken out to be cleaned as well. As you see the red part there, that's your fuel level. So what we're going to do now is install the fuel. All right, so we got it full of fuel. I actually got some in the tank and not all over the tank. So what we're going to do is put the fuel cap on. As you can see, this here lines up with the grooves. And you need to push down a little bit and turn clockwise till it locks. All right, before we start the motor for the first time, what you need to do, right here, as you can see, your vibrator box has been oiled. You have to remove this tape. And as you can see right in there, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's almost like a little silicone rubber band. You actually have to move that to the left, as there's a vent hole there, and that's on there for shipping so the oil doesn't drain out. So before you use this, make sure to move that rubber band or silicone band to the left. All right, so how to start this. You have your choke, so we're going to put that to the on position. You're going to want your fuel to the on position, which is forward. You're going to have your switch on the front of the engine to the on position, like that. Going to go to your throttle and give it probably maybe a third of the throttle. And you're going to pull your pull cord. Once it starts, we're going to turn off the choke probably after a few seconds. It's actually fairly warm here today, so it really didn't need the choke at all. And once I actually turned the choke off, it fired right up. So what I'm going to do is let this run for a few minutes, then I'll double check the oil, and then we're going to actually try this out. And the reason I actually bought that is I put a new pool pad down, so this is quarter minus gravel. So I want to compact this. I used to have sand down. And so we're going to compact this, and then once that's all done, we're going to go through and do the finish level with it. Just want to make a note, so that silicone elastic that was covering the vent hole, I actually took it off. I was too nervous of it actually sliding over and covering the vent hole while I'm using this. So just remember, if you do take that off completely, if you do transport it, there is a chance that oil could seep out the vent hole. So I want to say it does have a set of wheels on the back for rolling it. Works great on nice smooth surfaces, not so well on gravel. Alright, so what we're going to do is set up our pool in the next week or so on our quarter minus base. And as you can see when I'm walking on it, my feet are sinking into the gravel. So what we want to do is compact this whole base. And then once that's done, I will go through and level any of the lower spots. So I'll get this started up, and I'll probably go back and forth here. Alright, so I left a strip that I didn't do. When you're walking on this literally feels like concrete now. It's compacted so well. compared to here. You can see my boot prints. So it is compacted really well. And I will end up going over that a few times. I want to make sure this is just as solid as it can be. Now I will say, when you're doing the turns, you got to make fairly wide turns. If not, I find the edge of the compactor likes to dig into the gravel. So just be aware of that. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to compact the whole area and we'll see how it turns out. Just want to mention too, on the side is your throttle. So that's low throttle. Forward is full throttle. And when I'm using this, I'm using it at probably about 80% throttle. And you can certainly feel with a higher throttle, there's a lot more compaction. Compared to lower throttle, there's going to be a lot less. So one thing I noticed, a little tip, when I'm going around these sharp turns and going in the opposite direction, I found if I lift up on the back a little bit while turning, it stops the edge from digging in. So I've made one pass so far over the gravel. So my next step is I'm going to go the opposite way. So went this way, and then go this way next to get it really compacted well. And just must say that this is compacted very, very, very well. So I had purchased this on Amazon through the Vevor store. And this is the larger one. It's a 6.5 horsepower. I believe they do come out with a 2.8. I just wanted a little larger one. It's a little bit heavier, and hopefully for longevity it will last a little bit longer. So people are going to ask, why would you buy one rather than renting it? Well, we take our pool down. It's just one of the best way, the cheaper Walmart pools. We take it down every fall. So what I'm going to do is compact this base every springtime before we set up the pool again. This will only take literally half hour or so. This whole entire area here took maybe 10 minutes or so. So I'm sure to rent one of these for a day or so, it's probably $100 or more. So if I get a few years out of this, it's certainly paid for itself. Plus, too, it's convenience. It's something that I can put in the barn or the garage, and whenever I need it for doing this area or other projects, I'll have it on hand. So far, my first impressions, this thing works phenomenal, especially for the price point of it. So once I'm done here, I'll give it a little clean off. I'll always double check the oil before I use it. And don't be surprised if you see this on future projects here on the channel. Like always, if you have any questions or comments, make sure you post them below. If not, I appreciate you watching. If you're interested in this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up. Thanks for watching.